Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And I've been doing a series called Is He a Hall of Famer? Where I take a look at a player who many consider to be on the fence as to whether they belong in their sports Hall of Fame. Some people believe that person does. Some people believe this person doesn't. We take a look at his career. I give my final verdict as to whether I believe they should be in their sports Hall of Fame. But as always, I like to hear from you guys in the comments whether you think they belong or not. I normally do players whose careers either recently ended or on the verge of ending. So today's Is He a Hall of Famer? The 32nd episode is center Nicklas Backstrom. Backstrom was selected 4th overall by the Washington Capitals in the 2006 NHL draft. He is 35 years old. He'll be 36 on November 23rd. He has played 17 seasons in the NHL, all with the Capitals. Now, I decided to do him because Backstrom announced that he is stepping away from hockey. He underwent a hip surgery in June of 2022. Hasn't looked like quite the same player since then. Has been announced he's stepping away, and it seems like there's a decent chance that he will miss the rest of the season, and it's unclear whether he will play again. But he's had an awesome career. Let's take a look at it via his Pro Hockey Reference page. So he's played in 1,105 career games, 271 goals. Where he made his best mark is with his passing, 762 assists, 1,033 points, plus 83. If we take a look at his season-by-season numbers, you see really since that hip surgery, he has not been close to being the same player. Even this year in 8 games had tallied just 1 assist. But for a long time, he was one of the game's best passers and a very productive player. His best season scoring-wise came in 2009-10. That season, he had career highs in both goals, 33, assists, 68. So, obviously, points as well, 101. Also, a career high, plus 37. That 68 assist season was one of 5 where he had at least 60. His 60 assists led the NHL in 2014-15. While not an elite goal scorer, he did put the goal in the back. He did put the puck in the back of the net numerous times, 271 to be exact in the regular season. As I said, 33 was a career high, but he had 5 other seasons of at least 20. Not including his 101-point season, he had 2 others of at least 86 and an additional 5 others of at least 70. Twice, Backstrom finished 9th in Hart Trophy voting for the league MVP in the 2007-08 season. He was a runner-up for Calder Trophy for the league's top rookie. He's had some good Selke finishes for best defensive forward. He's finished 7th, 10th, 11th, and 12th in his career. Of course, Alex Ovechkin is aiming to break Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal record, and you would have to think he'd have a few less if he didn't have Backstrom passing him the cup. Yes, Ovechkin is a generational talent, but Backstrom definitely helped make his life a little bit easier. So Backstrom, again, productive for quite some time, and he did win a Stanley Cup with the Capitals. Take a look at his career playoff stats. So, yes, that 2017-18 season, the Capitals won the Stanley Cup. In 20 postseason games that year, he had 5 goals and 18 assists for 23 points. All in all, 139 postseason games, 38 goals, 76 assists for 114 points. If we take a look at where he ranks in career, so you see he totaled 3 hat tricks in his career. Actually, let's take a look at his similarity scores. So Hockey References uses point shares to compare a player to other guys. in for his career. So we see Backstrom for his career. Most compares to Dale Howard-Chuck in the Hall of Fame. Jonathan Toews will be in the Hall of Fame. Adam Oates in the Hall of Fame. Henrik Zetterberg, excuse me, might eventually make the Hall of Fame. Jean Rattel in the Hall of Fame. And then you see also Frank Mahovlich and Dennis Savard also in the Hall of Fame. So his career, at least according to point shares, compares greatly to many Hall of Fame players. Amazingly, he's only been named to one All-Star team, but I don't think you should take too much into that. Every team needs a representative. The Capitals were always sending Ovechkin, so there's probably other seasons that he deserved to make it, but did not. Take a look. He ranks 44th all-time with his 762 career assists. As I mentioned, he led the NHL in 2014-15. He also finished second in 2016-17, third 4 different times, and 7th in his career. His 1,033 points are 81st all-time, 5 seasons in the top 10, 2 times in 4th, once in 6th, once in 8th, and once in 9th for his career. So, I believe, let me say, this was updated after the 2021-22 season, written by the hockey writers Eugene Helfrich. So, active NHLers destined for the Hockey Hall of Fame. So, the first guy they mention, so by position alphabetical order, so the forwards, Nicklas Backstrom. We start with a controversial name on this list simply because Backstrom doesn't have any individual hardware. He's also never made an end-of-season All-Star team, although, he plays the same position as Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, so rather difficult to make a first or second All-Star team. However, he has a Stanley Cup, which is more than some of the others on the list have. He also has an Olympic silver medal, so of course they take that into effect as well, the Hockey Hall of Fame. He got that silver medal with Sweden. He's also played at nearly a point per game throughout his career and has 12 seasons with 50 or more points. While he may not always be the flashiest player, he is one of the best point producers in the game, as he has the second most assists in the entire NHL since he entered the league back in 2007-08. So while his name might not jump off the page as a Hockey Hall of Fame lock, once you look into his statistics, you see a player who should find his way there. So there's someone who thinks that he will absolutely make it. Now, this article was actually written in The Athletic. This is via Down Goes Brown. So, remembering 8 NHL stars who were Hall of Fame locks until they weren't. So, The Athletic, I forget who wrote this article, but inspired by Backstrom, he wrote an article on 8 guys who looked like they were definitely in line to make the Hockey Hall of Fame, but, whether it was injuries or, their play just diminished as time went on, they did not make it. So, he begins with Nicklas Backstrom stepped away from hockey last week, and it got me thinking about the Hall of Fame. Granted, that doesn't take all that much. As my readers know, I love a good Hockey Hall of Fame debate. In fact, we'll be having a few later this week as the Hall gets set to welcome its class of 2023. If Backstrom's career is over, he won't be eligible for 3 years. I don't think he makes it, but I suppose that's not a sure thing. The committee occasionally surprises us, to put it kindly. But there was a time when Backstrom absolutely seemed like he was on a Hall of Fame track. Back in 2009-10, he was just 22 and coming off an 100-point season, when those were exceedingly rare. If you'd gone around the league back then and placed bets on future Hall odds, he would have been high on anyone's list. Just not anymore. So I want to see who wrote this article really quick, because it is from The Athletic. It was written by... I don't share Athletic articles because they're behind a paywall. But this one was written by... I'm pulling it up. Come on. Anyhow, while it's loading, let me make my final verdict. Is Nicklas Backstrom a Hall of Famer? And it was written by Sean McIndoe yesterday. I'm going to say yes. I think Backstrom eventually makes the Hockey Hall of Fame. Do I think he'll be first ballot? Probably not. May take 4, 5, 6 ballots, but I do think he eventually gets in. I've done my NHL Mount Rushmores where I named the 4 best players, in my opinion, in franchise history for each of the teams, and I included Backstrom on mine. That doesn't necessarily guarantee that you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but I think he does get in. Again, one of the game's best passers for, a decade plus. I think that, and winning that Stanley Cup, I think may have put the final stamp on what should be a Hockey Hall of Fame career. But as you say, it's not unanimous. There are people that think he should be in. There are people that think he shouldn't be in. Let me know in the comments. Is Nicklas Backstrom a future Hockey Hall of Fame member? Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.